offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive.
They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And there's a lot of good to watch in the game last week. He threw 4 touchdown passes. A little bit of concern throwing the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and the 2 pick.
Yeah, you want the ratio really to be closer to 3-1 as opposed to the 2-1 that he had. But it is something to build on. They did. Win, didn't they?
Yep.
Fields going to throw right away.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, this defense for the Lions, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Here's Fields.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Here's Fields.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Call it a pickup of 3 and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
That's taken on the 25. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Lions will take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They will be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner back in 2016. Always a handful to contain, Lamar Jackson.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
And he's got some space here.
And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. 61 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Taylor is into the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. So both sides of the football contributing here early. Their defense forces the punt, and then the offense takes it down the field and punches it in on the short touchdown run.
And, Brandon, that's good complementary football, and that's what they're going to need if they want to get out of here victorious.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Fields now to throw.
Flushed out right.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. He finds his man complete. It's Burns.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Fields throwing again.
Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
The numbers for Smith-Schuster in that game last week. He was pretty prophetic. He said before that game, I want to get in the end zone often. He got there 3 times.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch a lot of footballs. That is important, but it's what you do after the catch that can make you great. And he had a great game last week.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
Play action. It's Fields.
He'll find Smith-Schuster again. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
They'll run on first down. Burns. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Burns, and he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
On first down, Burns, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Now it's Fields.
Throw left side complete. That's Fisher. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Brought down by Ed Oliver. And Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Here's Jackson. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. But how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position.
Now a first down throw. Fields.
Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Fields.
Touchdown, Bears! A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Bears have taken the lead.
And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
And the ball is free. Taylor lost it.
And this is picked up by the Bears. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having two hands on the ball. It's tucking it away.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Play action. Now Jackson sliding out of the pocket. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now it's Jackson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to St. Brown.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside. The 20.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
Here's Jackson to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There's a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
2nd down and goal. Jackson. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Lions are able to move back in front.
Well, nothing complicated about that. That's old school power football.
And effective. And that's the key to everything, right? Sometimes we try and do too many things. Just hand it to the big guy and let him go forward.
So the Lion offense staying on the field as they're going to try for 2. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
An unsuccessful attempt at the 2-point conversion. And it was a triple option play. And they chose option 1, handing it to the fullback. And that's not normal.
And sometimes you just miss your read key, right?
Yeah, I think so. And sometimes they actually call that, thinking that maybe everyone will bypass the fullback going out to the tailback or the quarterback. But in this case, they overwhelmed him and stopped him.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty...
Oh, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9.
74 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Jackson, and this is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And he is out of bounds here. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described. And
he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
From the 27, Fields. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. 3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down. Up the middle they go. It's Burns, and this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
On 2nd down, it's Burns. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Two minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. Fields on 1st down. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Kirby Joseph.
Those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
They'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone. These two teams matching up for the 2nd time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the Lions who got the road victory in that one, so they'll be looking to claim the season series now here at home in Detroit.
And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing third down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. It's the fullback on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Lions will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the Bears going to take over now late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
He finds his man complete. That's Burns. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
From the 50, here's Fields. Pass on the out route caught by Smith-Schuster. And he's going to have a first down, and they get into field goal range here at the 29.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
Field goal coming from Younghoe Koo.
Made his first. This now from 46 yards away.
Koo knocks this one through the post,
and that will close the gap down to 14. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football.
He's airing it out for Williams. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his.
Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
And now this will be the final play of the half, as with no time remaining, they'll try and add 2 more to the lead right before intermission. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle, and he will get into the end zone. So a perfect finish to the half. They get the touchdown on the final play, and 2 more for good measure. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in everyone to this Christmas Eve edition of the EA Sports Halftime Report. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And they're drawing close to halftime with the Vikings out on top. The Vikes trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they trail in that one as that game's gone to halftime. Brian Robinson, a touchdown run in that first half. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And right now they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the...
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter.
The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 106 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. On the counter, it's Taylor.
And he's taken down inside the 30.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jonathan Taylor, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year.
As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. So the Lion offense staying on the field as they're going to try for 2. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bowl his way in there for the 2 points.
I think this is just just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends are creating so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result.
Touchdown, Chicago! A great play there. 32 yards.
And the Bears are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So a very important first drive of the third quarter, Charles, and safe to say, a much-needed touchdown.
Which leads to the question, where was this in the first half? Because if they'd had a few more drives like that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that is the kind of drive that sends a message to the other side. We're going to be here, and we're going to battle you to the end.
Coup now for the point after.
Now that shaves a bit off the lead. It's now a 23-point game. a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19.
154 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
They run once more with Taylor.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there. It keeps them advancing the ball.
Now 2nd and 5. Snap will come from the 6.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
Jamar Chase.
A 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Lions are an extra point away from going up by 30. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got his tight end fan. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Fields. He finds his man, complete. It's Burns. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Straight ahead is Hall. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh. Defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Here comes the Lions punter now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Bears take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Lions add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Well, he's regarded as one of the best athletes among NFL tight ends, Charles, and it certainly was on display right there.
And as we've seen this league continue to grow and develop, I think the tight end position is becoming harder and harder to defend because now it's elite athletes playing that position, not just the big guys who can block. How about his ability to get downfield and make plays against any defense?
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
3 yards remain for second down. To throw is Fields.
Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Throwing again on second down. Fields steps away to his left. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
After the interception, here's Jackson rolling to his right. He's airing it out for Williams. And got his man complete.
And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close.
A big play there for Detroit.
78 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Lions take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Now Fields.
Dancing to his left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Fields.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. On 1st and 10, here's Fields.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Fields.
Being chased out left. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. But at this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
This is taken at the 10. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that the ball is free. Taylor lost it.
And this is picked up by the Bears. And it's a defensive return for a late touchdown. So they still need somewhat of a miracle here, but at least that gets them a little bit closer. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
Koo able to connect on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Again, it's Taylor.
They find some open field here. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And it's complete right back to Ridley.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, first down.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Lions,
they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year.
And they will hit the road next week.